internet. Do you guys... I mean, I was still late. I literally, like, as I was hitting, okay, go live, I watched my clock tick over to 5:46. I was like, I'm going to be on time. Look at that. Look at that. And then as I was reaching for the button, less than 60 seconds, wait, technically, less than 3 seconds late, because it was still 5:45 as I was reaching for the go button. Nice April Fool's joke is the stool is going to be finished. The joke is that the stool is still not finished. That's a joke. The joke is that it's been sitting in its state for 3 damn months. I thought about putting some effort in to doing an April Fool's thing and making a thumbnail and a title that was me holding like a blurred out. I was gonna clamp the guitar together and then hold it up and blur it out and be like, talking about or trying my new guitar, trying the guitar I just finished live on the show tonight. I just didn't end up going through the effort of doing that. Or just like, I finished the guitar without you guys, and like hold it up but then blur it out so that it was just like you could see that it was the guitar, but it would be all blurry. And then no. I'm not gonna put that much work into a joke. All right, who's here? Pinnell. Oh, Pinnell. April Fools. Pinnell showed up on time. Tim's back. Waldrop. Oh, how is everybody doing? It's the simplest batching out project. Pens are pretty easy to batch out, but a bunch of little mitered boxes. It's like 3 weeks. It's going on 3 weeks. No, it isn't. But it's like I just haven't been finding that much like work time out in the shop. I've been doing it like, okay, I've got an hour to go out to the shop and get chipped away at these things. So they're not really taking that long. It's just that I'm not getting out here as much as I want to be. Spring break. So we've spent like 3 days this week playing Breath of the Wild with my boy because he's off school. Worth it. Those are normally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are normally like longer shop days for me. But he was home, so I was like, let's just play Zelda all day. Took the day off, went for a long ride. Had a guy. Paul got a new Harley. Storm ripped half the siding off my folks' house. Yeah, I heard you guys had some. Where are you, Todd? I don't remember where you are, but like the states had some, like we don't even know yet how many tornadoes. Like even the weather scientists are like, we're still counting. Ohio. Okay, yeah. Heard Arkansas, I heard Little Rock just got annihilated. But they were like, literally, they were just like, it's going to take a little while for us to figure out what exactly happened here with all the tornadoes. So 72 half here today, which felt like Mother Earth was playing her own April Fools. Yeah. We've had a couple of like 5-hour stints. Like we'll start the day and it'll be like, oh my, spring is here. Spring is here, everybody, finally. And then like 1 o'clock and it starts trying to snow. Like, we'll get there. It comes around eventually. It's only March. You know, I live in Canada. Like, I'm never going to complain out here on the coast that like I live in Canada and it's April now. But like when I was growing up in Saskatchewan, I certainly was not like t-shirt and shorts weather in March. It's April. It's only been April for like 20 hours. No, not even. Hasn't even been April yet for, I'm not a math guy, 18 hours. Give me some slack. I mean, if we still actually wrote checks, I would still probably be doing 2022 and then scratching it out. How long does it have to be April for you to notice? The more important question is like, do I care what month it is? Because really, I kind of don't. Like, it's Saturday. Which means that I got off work and now I don't have to go back to work for a few days. That's like, I don't need to know whether it's April. I mean, everything, you don't even need to really know what day of the month it is anymore. If you're like all like, the only reason I used to have to know that kind of thing is because like either rent was due or I had a bill payment or whatever that I had to make. Now everything just automatically does. Like the money just comes in and out of the accounts on the days. I don't even need to know when payday is. Like it goes in and then some comes out and it all just. But speaking of that, I was talking to somebody the other day and I was telling them about how it was really not that long ago in the grand scheme of things that I realized it's been a little while since I had to check the bank account balance before I went to the grocery store to make sure that I could afford food. And like probably like 7-8 years ago. So I was probably like 35 years old when I suddenly realized, like, you haven't checked your bank balance before you went to go buy food for like a year. And that was a good feeling. That was a good feeling when I suddenly realized that. Means there's a new page to view in the Mike's Wooden Things Stuff calendar. Remember those days Kraft macaroni and cheese broke? No, dude. It was like the no-name brand macaroni and cheese broke. It's like food bank. Go whatever the food bank would give me broke. The free loaves of bread at the Salvation Army thrift store broke. My friend. Rammens and bar S hot dog. I don't know what a bar S hot dog is, but yeah, I get the idea. Yeah, cupboard full of Mr. Noodles, but not actual Mr. Noodles, like the no-name brand Mr. Noodles. $25% of the year's gone, so 25% off calendar sale. Sure. Fuck. Sure. Yeah, you can go ahead, Chris. They've gone up to 99 cents. I see. I don't know this brand of hot dog, so. Oh, I've got, as per the thumbnail for tonight's show, I have many mitered boxes ready to get assembled. Maybe we'll do one just to do something. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Batch. The dice boxes, they're going to be a little bit bigger than I was picturing in my head. But they needed to be a little bit bigger than my model, because my model doesn't hold a full set of dice. Why can I not make this arrow go away? Okay. So it's just a little bit taller this way, but it's about the same height this way between the top and bottom grooves that the top and bottom are going to go into. But it's about this much wider, which should allow me to have the full set of, get the full set of dice in there. But it does look a little chunky for a dice box when this is what you're used to seeing. Cheap discount hot dogs where they use what's left of the animal, then the remains of the are made into the cheaper hot dogs. So it's like what is left on the floor of the hot dog factory gets like squeegeed into another bin, and they make hot dogs out of that. Well, I only sat in my shop and looked around for a little bit, not sure what to do next. But you don't need to do it. That's a perfectly valuable use of time. Doesn't need to have anything happen after that. You see the actual dice? I mean, sure. This is just one of the random sets of dice that I have. It's probably not going to really focus on the particular. This is like a sort of a burgundy red and black mottled kind of set. I have numerous sets of dice. Yeah, it's in there. You made me take them out. Now they don't go back in. There we go. I have. See, what do we got over here? I have many dice out in the garage right now. Normally my dice don't live in the shop. And there's a little, when I was doing the intro for the dice box video, I was like, you know, you buy them and they come in this cheap little crappy plastic box, which is fine. Most people end up like finding a little sort of drawstring bag or something. But we're going to step it up. We're going to level it up. We're going to level up. And what are these ones? These ones are just sort of a translucent red set in here. I've got this bag of dice This is a cool set, actually. This one is sort of a aquamarine blue and black speckled set. We got translucent purple. We got black and like with black with silver speckles. What else we got? We got a big ass D20. That's good. That guy's, yeah, that is various, numerous. Not nearly as many as I have in the past. Wear my wizard hat for the outro. I don't know that I have a wizard hat. Oh, that didn't make it back. I don't think I have a wizard hat. I should have a wizard hat, and I should do a video on the channel of making like a Gandalf pipe, like a big Gandalf pipe. Do you finish the box then Glowforge, or the other way around? I am going to finish the box, and then I'm going to take the lids of the boxes down to the Glowforge, because the Glowforge can only do things up to just under 2 inches tall. You need to be under like 1.8 something inches from the laser itself in order for it to engrave. So I'm gonna finish. The boxes are like ready to be wrapped up, and then I'm gonna cut the top off of them. I'm gonna take the tops down to the Glowforge and put the stuff on the top. I mean, technically these are all of the tops and bottoms. I could take these down and Glowforge them before installing them, but I don't have to, so I'm not gonna. Went to see the D&D movie today. I'm so torn, because I do want to see it, but I don't think I'm gonna movie theater see it. Should I Tim, be honest with me. Should I movie theater see it? Because it's a difference of like wait a couple months and watch it for what I already pay for streaming services, or the three of us go see it for like $70. Oh, why does it keep almost reporting people? What Glowforge model do you use? We, down at the shop, we have a Glowforge Pro with the pass-through. Wasn't sure if there's a size limitation to a Glowforge. Yeah, there are various size limitations to it all has to fit inside. So the Pro that we have down at the shop, it has a pass-through, so you can have things as long as you want, as long as they're less than a 1/4 inch tall. So long sheets of plywood less than about 20 inches wide, you can use the pass-through to do. But from bed to laser has to be under, I think it's 1.85, 1.9 inches. And if it's thicker than a 1/4 inch, it has to fit within 20 by 16 ish. We had recliners in the theater plus movie theater popcorn. That's why when we go to the theater, we actually go down to Courtney. We go down to the next town over, because their theater has the big recliner seats, and it's the same price other than the trip down to Courtney. And it's like a half hour, so it's not that big a deal, but it's worth it for the movie theater experience. But we have recliners and couches and things in my living room, and not an enormous TV, but big enough. So is Dungeons and Dragons new movie worth 3 of worth 70 plus gas to go see in a theater to have that experience. You ever use the pass-through? Yeah, I use the pass-through all the time. I use the pass-through on my Davies for Council signs when I cut out my painting, my spray paint template, and what do you call it? My stencil, I guess. When I cut out that stencil, I used the pass-through. We use the pass-through all the time. Can't do recliner seats. That's an expensive nap. I can't fall asleep unless I am fully horizontal. Like, they don't recline far enough for me to be able to fall asleep. I need to be just pure horizontal in order to fall asleep. I've never been able to sleep on buses or planes or even in a lazy boy recliner because I'm tilted at least a little bit. I just can't. It's weird. It's a tough call. It did look great on the big screen, but honestly, I don't think you'd lose anything seeing it at home. That's kind of where I come to. The only stuff that we really go see in the theater these days is Marvel movies, and not even all of them, but most of them, because it's, 4 times a year or something we'll go to the theater. We went and saw Sonic the Hedgehog in the theater because it was Boy's birthday week. We don't go to the theater a lot because literally, like, you really only have to wait 6 weeks sometimes for it to show up on one of your streaming services that you're already paying for. And we got popcorn. We got candy. If we don't have popcorn and candy, we can go get it for like way cheaper. Military taught you to sleep in any position. Yeah, I imagine it would. Was pricing Glowforge a couple weeks back and wondered if that would get used for the extra money. Oh, well, that's a different question. We use it a lot because of the types of things that we do. I don't think as a dude, like if I had room for a Glowforge in this shop, I don't think the types of stuff I would do with it would require a pro. I think everything I would want to put in it would probably go inside of it or be too thick to use the pass-through anyway. If I wanted to put logos on cutting boards and charcuterie boards and stuff, 20 by 16 is a pretty decent sized thing, as long as it's less than 2 inches thick. I don't know that I would I'd pay the extra money for the pro unless I was doing things that were less than a 1/4 inch thick or 1/4 inch or less and long. But we do a lot of that down at the shop. We cut out MDF, 1/8 inch MDF into shapes that then get painted on for like art kits and things like that. And most of those take, like, you cut this much, you shimmy it, you cut a little more, you shimmy it, you cut a little more. We do a lot of pass-through stuff, but I don't think most people would do a lot of pass-through stuff. But I can't speak for what you're going to want to do with it. I can't even think what you would want to do with it. What are you doing with a glow? What do you want to do with a Glowforge, Benel? Also, how's that wall coming? You got the wall up? You got the miter station built? Has everybody hit the thumbs up button? Because there's only 4 of those. There's more than 4 of you watching. So I guess I answered my own question. No, not all of you have hit the thumbs up button. Guess you can creatively work around the limitation. Your sign template could have been 2 sheets. Yeah, Yeah. Yeah. It could have. You just cut half of it. Well, you'd have to do more work in the back end, like designing it. So you'd have to cut it like in your design to cut half of it, and then cut the other half of the design and then put it together. It's just pricing them out. I had no idea on cost. I don't either. I know it's about, I mean, what, $10,000 machine that I work on down there, the Glowforge Pro. I just estimate. It's not mine. I didn't have to buy it. I gave you a thumbs up and didn't give Matthias one today on his April Fool's video. Well, I appreciate the thumbs up. I don't mind if you give Matthias a thumbs up. If people are allowed to like the dude. Like, it's not... It's just not for me. Like, don't feel bad if you enjoy something I don't enjoy. That would be weird of me to hold against people. Who's Matthias? Don't worry about it. See, he doesn't matter. No shop time this week. It's okay. I didn't get much. I brought in my boy Mike Bennett on Monday to help me with some cleaning and organizing, because I was just like, it's never going to happen. If it just gets left up to me, it's never going to happen. And he actually likes cleaning and organizing, and we hadn't hung out for a while. So I brought him in and we did some cleaning and organizing, and we got a bunch of garbage bags worth of stuff out. We got a couple of boxes worth of, like, this is going in the fire pit out. It doesn't look that much better, but it is, and I know that it is. And it's over halfway to the point where I can say, like, okay, it's reset and ready to keep clean. It just doesn't look like it. Because I got to burn a bunch of stuff, and I have to still find some homes for some things. I have to figure out, I have a too small a space. Well, we both agreed, Mike and I both agreed, like, the problem is that I am trying to keep too many things in my shop. I need fewer things and less stuff in order for the space to stay clean. It's just like, I can't store sheet goods, like even cut down sheet goods, 2x4 foot pieces of MDF. I can't do it. I need to be better at getting rid of scrap. I need to have better cabinetry instead of pegboard. Just like, and I need to have less stuff. Stop buying things, idiot. Stop keeping things you don't need. Need to pick up some cheap white paint to paint the OSB you put up in the shop. Do you guys have the Restore out there? You guys have the Habitat for Humanity, like, donate your stuff to us and we resell it and it goes towards charity, but like, they do have a lot of, like, building supplies and, like, half cans of paint that people just give them and stuff like that, because that's a good place to find stuff like that. Actually, our recycle depot, our, like, bring your cans and bottles back depot, has a shelving unit that you can come and just sort of like, it's like a take a bit, leave a penny, take a penny kind of place. You can just go and pick up like cans of other people's leftover house paint. Matthias has 1.72 million subscribers. I'm happy for the update. I'm pushing upwards of 7,000. Suck it, Matthias. Yeah. Getting there. Unhappy dog. Oh. Anybody making anything? Is anybody making anything? A lot of people talking about how they are not getting much shop time or just another day. Let's talk about potatoes, shall we? Yes. Let us talk about potatoes. Potatoes are great depending on how you do them. What's your favorite way to consume a potato? I am a fan of the scalloped potato au gratin, as most people would say it. That's a fantastic way to cook a potato. Or a double stuffed or double baked, restuffed, or whatever, where you bake it and then you scoop the insides out, you mix it up with like cream cheese and bacon, and you put it back in, and then you melt a bunch more cheese on top of it. That's a good potato. But I like, we have potatoes with, is it accurate to say most dinners have some form of potato involved as the side dish? Usually I just go the simple route and I cube it or like chop it up and toss it in a bunch of seasonings with some oil, and I just bake it into it. It essentially makes it like fat hash browns. But peelings on, fried with onions. Yeah, good. Twice baked. There you go. Except you got to do some stuff in between the second baking. Is there a bad potato? Well, you could screw it up. You could add grossness to it, like mushrooms or other vegetables. Onions, okay, I get that. As long as they aren't crunchy. I like onions as long as they're not crunchy. Trying to think of other ways that would be bad potatoes. What? Mushrooms are good? Well, they're good if you're not allergic to them. Which I am. It's the only thing I'm allergic to. Thanks, Mom. Mushrooms react in a weird way with my digestive system, and my system rejects it back up this way in a sometimes violent manner. So I have to be careful when I'm out places and I order like pastas and things, because a lot of places put mushrooms and stuff. And I'm fortunate that that's the only thing I'm allergic to, because it's pretty easy to stay away from them. And it's not going to kill me if they go in. It's just very likely going to come back out the wrong direction if it does. And nobody wants that. Crispy smashed potatoes with pickles and gin spiked sour cream. Well, you can keep your pickles, but I like the sound of crispy smashed potatoes. That sounds good. But I think, yeah, like I can't say I have a favorite way to potato. Because there's different kinds of potatoes go with different meals. If I'm having ham, for dinner, I want the cheesy scallop potatoes with the sauce, the cheesy sauce. And it's creamy, and there's a crispy top on it and around the edges. That shit's great. But nice baked potato, or better yet, double baked with like steak dinner. It's good. But I mean, just chop them up, throw them in some oil and seasoning, throw them in the oven for a bit. That's good too. Good topic. Who brought that up? You keep your pickles, Paul. I think we had a discussion about pickles a few weeks ago about how we need to stop pickling things because we have modern refrigeration techniques, so we don't need to anymore, and everything pickled is horrible. Double dragon is where it violently shoots out both directions. No, it doesn't get far enough. That's the thing, is it doesn't get far enough in to double dragon. Just another day. Is that yo? Is that the you said let's talk about potatoes? I appreciate that. That was a good talk. I like pickles on Subway sandwiches. Everybody's allowed to like what they like. But I think we should start phasing out pickled things so that the future generations don't get to like them. They don't get to find out whether they like them or not, because we don't need to do that anymore. So stop it. I don't like it, so no one else should. Pickled garlic is pretty good. Okay, maybe. I don't think I've had a pickled garlic because I've never had anything that I liked. I've never had a pickled anything that I like. So I just stopped trying pickled things. There was a reason for pickling. We're past that now. Haven't had Subway in 4 years though. Every time I have Subway, I think it's going to be better than it is. Sometimes you get a craving for like a Subway meatball sub or chicken pizziola. They don't officially make the chicken pizziola anymore, so you have to find the Subway that has like an old-timey guy that was there for a while. But it's never as good as you think it's gonna be. Like you think it's same, like KFC, same thing. You're like, oh, when I was a kid, I remember loving KFC. So you go, and it tastes good going in, but then you feel gross after, and then you realize that some of that was not probably good for you. And It sits heavy, and yeah. And every time it's like it tastes good, and then you're like, wow, that was really unsatisfying. Disappointed again. Oh, idiot! You know that this happens every time. It's good though. It tastes good. I guess is the best thing you can say about it. So toasted pizza sub with meatball marinara. Ooh, that's interesting. You get the pizza and then the meatballs on top of the pizza sub. I like that. Remember when Subway used to make the meatball sub, and they used if you ordered the meatball sub, they would cut it this way and like scoop out the inside of it. I hope that was Subway that used to. Maybe that was a different company that used to do that, or maybe still does. I don't know. I think Subway used to do the scooping out the top of the meatball sub. It always, sometimes, very regularly when we're not making anything on the show, it turns into food talk. Mike's wooden things and food. Right down the street from Brown's training camp. There's a joke in there. Doesn't matter. There's still only 4 thumbs. You guys are mean. Here. Are you not enjoying yourselves? If you're not enjoying yourselves, like, there are other things to go do. You used to be able to ask them to cut it the old way. Oh. Okay. I mean, I don't know that it's any better or worse, honestly. I just think I thought it was a cool way to cut a sub to put meatballs in the little trough. I step away for a couple minutes and I miss something. I know I miss it. What's about liking and not liking things? Everybody's allowed to like what they like, Tim. That's always the answer on the show. You're allowed to like what you like. I tend to be fairly adamant about the things that I like and don't like. But I'm not going to judge anybody. Well, I'm not going to judge anybody for the foods that they like. I judge people for other things they like. Like bigotry. If you like bigotry, I'm going to judge you. But food, you like whatever food you want. Maple Leafs, sports teams, you can like whatever sports teams you want. You can like whatever food you want. There are very few things that I'm going to judge you for liking or disliking. Pepsi is superior, Pinnell says. This is your opinion. And you are a bass player. So really, does anybody care about your opinion? Oh, that wasn't too bad. That was okay. I don't. But are you even a bass player anymore? When's the last time you played your bass? Diet Mountain Dew, Stanifer says. You can like what you like, my friend. I don't like diet anything because the sweetener that they put in diet drinks tastes gross to me. Like aspartame or um, stevia or any of those. Like they taste chemically to me, and I don't like that. You look like a guy with a good chili recipe. I think I make a pretty decent chili. I don't really have a recipe, but I have ingredients that I put in every time, and actually a pretty good cook. And chili is one of the things that I think I do relatively well. This week? You played your bass this week? Not a guy. So there, Davies. Shut up. Did you play it this week and that's the first time in a year? Because, like, if I would have asked you last week, would the answer have been different? I don't know. Maybe you play more often than it feels like you do. You don't talk about playing though. I say that as a guy who prides himself on making a damn fine Frito chili pie. I don't know what a Frito chili pie is, but I'm willing to try it if it doesn't have mushrooms in it. Mike is too skinny to be a good cook? Well, skinny is a relative term though, isn't it? Like, if you think I'm skinny, well, I'm skinnier than I was not that long ago, because now I have a job where I'm moving around a lot. I'm losing weight. I've never been a scale guy, so I don't really know exactly how much I weigh, but I know I'm getting skinnier than I was from sitting at a desk staring at a computer all day. For the last year, I've been walking around constantly, and I'm losing weight every now and then. I gotta tighten my belt a little more. I'm getting skinnier. He barbecues a decent steak, Bergen says. It's true. I do. I barbecue lots of things. Took me a long time to figure out chicken on the barbecue, because it would either stick to the grill and tear apart when you tried to flip it around, or it would turn out super dry because you were too hot or left it on too long. Chicken took me a long time to figure out on the barbecue. I play it regularly. It's in my office on the wall, so you pick it up during the day. Hey, okay. I didn't know that. You play bass a lot more than I play guitar then. Bag of Fritos, can of chili. What? Can of chili? Shredded cheese and onions, put it in a bag, shake it up and eat. Okay, that actually might be okay, but it's not really food. Make your own chili, yo. Fritos, chili, cheese, onions. So it's like a casserole, kind of a layered thing. Paul is like a bag shaky thing. I could go for I could almost see making a crust out of tortilla, and then doing layers of chili and Fritos and cheese. Chili, Fritos, cheese, and making a chili Frito lasagna. Might be cool. Silicone grill mat. I think I have one of those and just never used it. I figured out the system for chicken though. It you just gotta be on top of it. You gotta flip it lots. You got the oil on the chicken, clean-ish grills, and flipping constantly. Don't let it cook long enough on in any one location for it to start sticking. You gotta flip. Kind of biased, but not enough to not realize this guy's downfalls. Weaknesses. Let's talk about everybody's weaknesses in life. Mark, you weren't here a few weeks ago where we went over the story about my jail sentencing and my criminal record and discovered pineapple salsa this week. Okay. I've had a couple of decent citrusy salsas. I've had a mango salsa that was pretty okay. I'm not a big salsa guy. I put salsa on tacos. But it has to be cooked salsa. I don't want raw chunks of stuff. I don't want my salsa to crunch. I don't want crunchy vegetables in anything, really. If I'm going to eat vegetables, I want them to be cooked so much that they are no longer a texture. Chicken, oil the grates and cook temp pulling at 160. Yeah, that's the thing is you don't cook too long. Oil the shit out of it and make sure you're flipping enough that it doesn't start to grip and tear apart as you're flipping. Mushy veg, unfollow. I don't want it. I just want the flavor of the vegetable. That's why I like onions. Just cook them until they're a paste. So you get the oniony flavor, but they don't crunch in your mouth. Because crunchy onions are gross. Everyone's allowed to like what they like. I'm allowed to like what I like. I'm allowed to like what I like just the same as you guys are. You want to eat pickles, you eat pickles. You can have mine. You want crunchy onions in your shit, you have crunchy onions in your shit. I don't care. It's fine. Just don't come to my house and expect me to make you crunchy onions and stuff. Says the guy that makes French onion soup. Did you watch the French onion soup recipe? I literally, in that video, I said, so we're going to cook this down until it's almost a paste, but not quite. We're going to cook all the texture out of these things so that it's like a gloopy flavor. Chili onion rings. I like when I was a kid, I would buy onion rings so that you rip them apart and then you pull the coating off of the slimy onion that's in the middle, and then you eat the breaded coating that tastes like onion, but it doesn't have the slimy, crunchy onion in the middle of it. Gonna send me some fried pickled onions. That'll go well in the backyard fire. Broccoli and asparagus should crunch. I can cook vegetables properly. I have 2 people in my house that like vegetables that are cooked properly. I know how to cook vegetables for people who like them. I don't want them. There's nothing wrong with that. We can all be friends. If you come over for a barbecue, you can have properly grilled asparagus. I don't want it. I don't even want improperly grilled asparagus. It's fine. We're all making our way through the world, folks. Vote Mike for mayor of Pawnee. I would have loved to sit on that city council. That would have been fun times. Did you say if you had a smoker? I did not say, and I do not. I don't, I've never smokered. I grill. I don't have a smoker or like a Traeger or like a pellet thing or anything like that. I have a natural gas barbecue that is hooked straight into the gas line of my house, which is fantastic if you've lived your whole life doing propane tank barbecues and you've run out of propane partway through cooking and you're just constantly been going and filling up propane tanks for your whole life, but your house has a natural gas line. Natural gas barbecue, never have to worry about whether you're almost out of propane. If you got a kettle barbecue like a charcoal, I know I have used charcoal barbecues. It's fine. I can do it, but I'm perfectly happy with my never have to worry about fuel or preheating charcoal or anything. You cannot call yourself a grilled. I don't call myself a grilled if you're using gas. I don't think I called myself a grilled, first of all. And second of all, I don't even call myself like, I make good food. I am happy with, and everyone I've ever met and cooked for has been happy with my cooking. That's good enough for me. I forget to turn off the gas at least once every summer. That would be bad with gas. It's outside. Yeah, I mean, it would, the gas bill would suck at the end of the month, but and it's bad for the environment, Davies. But yeah. You have a Traeger and a propane Weber. I would love to have various grilling options. Do you worry about leaving the barbecue on? I looked on my propane tank, and at worst, you're out $13 refill. Be scared of leaving it on for days. No. It's not something that I worry about. Why don't you guys turn off your barbecues after you're done? I mean, yeah, they're like, okay, it has happened, I guess. I don't think it's happened since not true. One time when I was sitting out on back deck in the winter and I was using the barbecue for heat. Like, I cooked on it that night and we ate supper and whatever, and I was out sitting on the deck having beers and watching YouTube and stuff up on the back deck, and I was using the barbecue like propped open as like a natural gas heater for my little space that I was sitting on the deck. And I think I left it running all night. Maybe once. Because I forgot to turn it. I got hammered and forgot to turn it off when I went inside. But it probably cost me like an extra $7 on the gas bill that month to run the barbecue all night. I don't see that as being a huge problem. Yeah, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a pretty big deal. Like, $7. That's like how much I make on like 3 months of this show. Not gonna worry about $7. If you turn off your barbecue from the gas line, you never have to worry about it. Just don't use the knobs on the front of the barbecue. Well, there's that also. Like, there's the gas line that comes out of the house to the barbecue, and then the ones on the barbecue. So, yeah. Don't have any reference for how much natural gas costs, so maybe it's not a big deal. Honestly, I don't either. Didn't we earlier talk about how like I have no idea about money coming in and going out? It automatically just it comes in and it goes out, and I don't even really pay attention to it anymore because I'm a big deal and I don't have to pay attention to it. It's not. It is accurate, but it's only because I'm not like super splurgy and stuff. Like I don't know. I got a notice one time, maybe about a year ago. I got an alert saying that you've fallen below your threshold for in your account, just so you're aware. But it was like the day before I got paid, and it was because an extra payment came out or whatever. And there's money in other accounts. Like it can just wife has set everything up so that things are coming in and going out of accounts at the right rate, and I don't really even worry about it. My gas bill was $240 in February, which is double what it used to be. I don't know if that's a lot, because I don't know how much any of our bills are. That's not true. I know how much our mortgage payment is. I know how much my truck payment is. I think I know what cell phone bills are, but it's like, as long as there's more coming in than is going out, well, as long as there's the same amount coming in that's going out. Hold on while I go outside and yell at Cloud. We'll be here. Just make sure you shake your fist also. Beer. Scott, I'm down at work today, and we were doing a wood burning class. I cut up some really nice like quarter sawn sapele for these people to do a wood burning class on down at the shop today. And I brought my custom liquid wax down for people to finish their projects with. We may have to look at a bulk order situation again, because not as bulk as it was last time, but maybe like a 10-pack of the liquid wax would be a good investment for me to make, because people are like, so where do I get this? And I'm like, well, you order it from my friend Scott at customcreations.com.au or whatever. They're like, can we get this from you guys? I'm like, nope. So I think maybe having some available for customers at the shop when we're doing things, because I had to be like, well, I mean, you can't really get this. This is the best product, but you could get a similar oil wax thing that cures. What you don't want to do is do mineral oil and just have it be slimy all the time. And it's like, you could use Howard's feed and wax from like the hardware store But I got a little bit of a sick feeling in my throat when I said it. Yeah. Who was $1,200? Why are people yelling $1,200? My last electric bill was $1,200 for 2 months. It's cold. He's on the wrong coast, and it's cold there. It was 2 months, though. Keep in mind, everybody, that was 2 months. $600 a month for electricity. I don't know. I don't know what people pay for electricity. Is that a lot? I'm on like half gas. Like my water tank is gas. My barbecue is gas. Stove and fridge, like general appliances are electric, but I'm on hydroelectricity, which I think is relatively reasonable, even though it's like a pseudo crown corporation. It's for the 12 coldest months of the year and heat and lights. Yeah, and he doesn't have any gas or oil, so it's like the entirety of his house operating for $600 a month. I don't think that's that bad. And I think we have things like averaged out over the course of the year so that they've taken all of our history into account and just come up with a baseline amount so that in the summer, when we're not using any of the heat and et cetera, it's going to be the same amount as in the winter. So we have that system set up so it's like, $140 a month or something all year long. Probably less than that for electricity. Maybe not. Like I said, we've already established, I don't know what we pay for stuff. Because I'm a pretty big deal. That's up north of Maine. Yeah, he is absolutely north of Maine. He is on the eastern coast of Canada. He's in like the third worst part of Canada in terms of weather. Yeah, I think that's about right. I don't know why. Because it feels like he and his wife have more than enough skill and talent to live anywhere they want in Canada. For some reason, they picked the third worst location. It's probably the second warmest winters of Canada after coastal BC. Yeah, warmest, but you also get like 7 feet of warm snow. Like warm, like it's only like it's only -3, but now we can't get out of our house because it's covered in snow. It's not just about temperature, my friend. No snow here. I cleared driveway once this winter. Maybe this year. Can't tell me you've never been like unable to leave your house because of snow. Looks like he played his bass guitar last week. Like how this show has just become me calling Pinnell a liar about everything. Saw a video of a guy in Canada jumping into a dumpster to avoid a moose. And? You're damn right. If I have a moose chasing me and there's a dumpster nearby, that's exactly where I'm going. Not in the 4 years of living in Halifax. Oh, okay. Maybe you're in a little pocket that doesn't get absolutely annihilated with snow. I didn't know that Halifax was like that. I know the East Coast in general has a long-standing history of like, make sure that your generator's running in the winter because you might be stuck here for a bit without power. Halifax is a pretty big place, though. Their infrastructure is probably pretty okay. They probably spend decent amounts of money on it because they know that they need to. If you jumped into a dumpster covered in sawdust, Matthias might dig you out to build something out of you. Well, not if I don't have a Raspberry Pi. Or, I don't even know. I just make things up. Northern New Brunswick gets snow. Newfoundland gets snow. Labrador gets snow. Okay. Nova Scotia and PEI is light on snow. Weird little pocket. Okay. Remington 300 Ultra Mag would fix that problem. Oh, that's a gun. Like, I thought Remington was a razor. I thought you were talking about my beard. Talking about the beard problem. I'm like, this isn't a problem. This is actually pretty well kept right now. Thank you very much. I'm actually pretty happy with how this looks. I'm clearly not really a gun guy. What else should we talk about? Anybody else got anything they want to talk about? How prevalent are moose up there? Well, I mean, there isn't one right outside my house right now, but there aren't a ton on the particular island that I live on. We have elk there's a pretty substantial, isn't really accurate, but my particular island off the coast of Canada doesn't have a lot of that, but around there are a lot of areas in Canada where you can just be driving along and like there's some moose and there's some elk and there's another moose and that's a bear. Like, Mike looks around his shop for a moose. I was explaining that like right outside my door right there is not a moose. It is a deer. It's very possible that if I open my garage door right there are deer eating my lawn at any given time. Yeah, Canada's a big fucking place, yo. Like, there are areas where animals are more prevalent than others. Speaking of moose, favorite dessert. I can't do that either, my friend. Because my favorite dessert depends on what I haven't had for a while and what I just ate and who made it and whether it's any good. Like, I'm not going to say apple pie is my favorite when it came from the grocery store. A good apple pie is better than a bad chocolate cake. I think favorite dessert is a question that can't be answered. The island off the other coast of Canada is overpopulated with moose. You guys got a whole whack of moose over there? We got cougars. We got deer. We've got our own species of wolf. We've got elk. We have some wildlife for sure that we need to make friendly with and live beside. But I don't think we have any moose. If you could replace one part of your body with a body part from any animal on Earth, hold on. I like it so far. What would you switch and why? If you replace one part of your body with a body part from any animal on Earth. Well, first of all, I don't know if I would, because I think replacing anything with is going to be a detriment in some other way to my human body. Like, I don't think adding talons would be of benefit, even though it would be awesome, because then I wouldn't be able to play guitar. I'll replace my balding area on my head with like some cockatiel feathers or something that are like, and I can control them and express emotion with my like. Can I replace like the crown of my skull with like bird feathers that express emotion and that I can do stuff with? Is that a body part? I would replace my eyes with something that sees like extraordinarily well or something like that. Like, I would be either completely frivolous with it, like replacing my bald spot with fancy looking things, or like really pragmatic with it. Like, I want to hear like something that hears really well. So could I replace my eardrum with the eardrum of a German Shepherd? Like, those would be like my two ways to go. I just saw a video of a monkey grabbing snacks with its tail. I would want that. What are you replacing? See, this is the question is, you're replacing one of your parts with an animal part. You can't replace your not a tail with a tail. You want just another day wants kangaroo legs? You would give up your human legs for kangaroo legs? I would not. Pinnell is going to give up not having a kangaroo pouch for a kangaroo pouch. I think this is not the spirit of the question. The spirit of the question is to like, I'm going to replace my neck with a giraffe neck or something. Like, it's not, I'm going to replace not having a tail with a tail, or not having a pouch with a pouch. It's like, I'm going to replace my hand with an eagle's talon. That's why I think like bald spot removal for like feathers, kind of lame. You can't say like, I'm going to replace not having wings with having wings. One gorilla arm. See, that's in the spirit of the question. I like that. Like, I will give up one of my human arms in order to have a gorilla arm. That's in the spirit of the question. Not replacing my stomach skin with a kangaroo stomach skin. Like, that's not. Technically, yes, you've answered the question, but it's not in the spirit of the question. Just like I'll replace my eardrums with German Shepherd eardrums. No, that's not an answer. I mean, it is, but it's a really hard question. But if you're going to answer it in the spirit of the question, it's a really hard question because do we live in a hypothetical world where this kind of shit happens all the time? Like everybody gets to do tradesies of parts? Because like I think the stigma, the social stigma that you'd have by being the only one with like a weird arm would make it not worth it. But if everybody was just swapping out parts and like I'm have kangaroo legs and I'm gonna have a gorilla arm and whatever, like if that was a normalized part of society, I don't know. I think humans pretty much have it dialed in. I don't know that I would necessarily, unless it was like you can trade them in for a little bit and then get yours back, like it's like a rental situation. It's a good thought experiment. I like this. Um, hmm. You know, one of them big red assed monkeys. I'll trade my ass for one of those like red assed monkey asses and just walk around and show it off for a bit and then trade it back in. Or is it a permanent like exchange? See, there's a lot of it depends happening. Is it a permanent transformation? There's a lot of variables involved. I'll do full centaur. See, I like that. Pinnell commits. He's like, you know what? Give me the horse body. I agree. I think that's a pretty awesome thing. Plus, you're probably really good at firing a bow. I think that just naturally happens if you become a centaur. I think you become really good at bow and arrow. It's permanent. Oh, yeah, fuck it. I'll go centaur. Dude, me and Pinnell will go centaur. And we'll be really good at hunting. And we will be beasts of legend that people will tell tales of. I like that. Skip the ads to get here faster. An hour and 24 into the show. We were talking about the cleaning job on Monday and how it's like it's way better, but it doesn't look way better yet. And you get to poop wherever you want. Yeah, because you have the body of a horse. And nobody's going to judge you for just letting one out. Is it not like you can use a toilet? Well, maybe you could. But like, really, who's going to argue? Like, hey, mister, could you, are you, are you going to, no, because you just shoot him with your bow and arrow. You're like, shut up, I'm a motherfucking centaur. Recognize, right? I like that. That's a good idea. I'm with Pinnell. Good answer. Just the lower half. Just instead of replacing one part with an animal part, just take the bottom half and put a horse on it. It'd be majestic. You would be majestic. And bards would sing tales of your accolades. Do you think centaurs can still get charged for outright murder? I don't think they can. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't think in the criminal code, I think in the criminal code, one of the definitions of murder has to be a human being commits it. And I don't think if you're a centaur, you're considered a human being. You're never going to charge, like when a kid falls into the gorilla cage at the zoo and gets murdered, they don't charge they just kill it, which in some ways is worse. But I don't think you get charged with murder as a centaur. Have you ever seen a centaur charged with murder? Case closed. There have been 0 times throughout history that a centaur has been charged with murder. Period. The end. We're going to need a lawyer. I think, I would guess that the criminal code only applies to human beings. And I don't think centaurs, I mean, unless it, like we're talking about, if society changed and this was a thing that we could do and just swap parts and some of us could become centaurs, the criminal code would change to include centaurs. But as it sits right now, I don't think you could get charged with murder as a centaur. Because the lawyer would be like, Judge, my client is not human. Why is this even a discussion? Tyler Peterson does not practice bird law. He is lying to you. He is pretending to be a bird lawyer. And also, what would that have to do with centaur law? Maybe these are different laws. Like, if we suddenly live in a world where humans can swap out parts and become other hybrids of things, the entire law is going to change. And they will absolutely make it so that centaurs can be charged with murder. But right now, here, I say this a lot, but damn, this has become a weird show. If I Google it, there's a surprising amount of results if a centaur would be charged as a human or a horse. Does not surprise me at all, because the internet, I could just end it. I don't need to finish that sentence, because the internet. You're welcome. Appreciate the help on the corporations can be criminally charged, so it's not just humans. Okay, but a centaur is not a human or a corporation. I'm sure it would have to be like changed in the law. for, can a dog be charged with murder? Can an animal of any kind be charged with? Can a non-human or system of humans? See, the corporations can be criminally charged, but not with murder. I don't think you can charge McDonald's with murder. You can charge them with criminal negligence or something. Business Centaur. That's a fucking great hashtag. And it's next year's calendar. Every page is Mike as a centaur in a different environment. I like this a lot. I'm going to get my friend Marissa back here. We're going to plan this out. And she can Photoshop the top of my body onto a horse in various environments. It'll be Mike the Centaur's wooden things and stuff calendar. No, it won't. But I would absolutely, if any of you guys, I should not put this out into the world. If any of you guys are good with Photoshop and you want to make me into a centaur, I would appreciate that. That would be cool. Could the owner of the dog be held liable for negligence? Yes, absolutely. That's a different question. We're talking about if we volunteered to become centaurs, could we be charged with murder? Try to keep up. Okay? What's so complicated about this discussion? Clearly, I'm going to be going around with a bow and arrow. And if somebody pisses me off, I'm probably going to murder them. But maybe not if I can be charged. By the way, today is router bit mishap day. Hold on. Is it really? Let me get the calendar. I mean, I believe you. It's a little dusty. It would make sense that April 1st would be router bit mishap day. It's true. And we got a new picture. Everybody flipped to a new page on the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff calendar. And he's right. Router bit mishap day. That was not as bad a day as it sounds, but not an awesome day. The April calendar would be an easy centaur Photoshop. It's probably true. It's like almost full. I don't know if it would, because the horse part would be coming out like. I guess you could just take this part and put horse out this way, but it wouldn't look right because I'm tilted too much forward. It would look bad. But yeah. The whole centaur, what's this? The whole centaur murder spree that he's talking about is concerning. He's not actually a centaur, is he? You can't tell. Can't flip because no one bought any. Not true. Not true, Paul. I sold 7. 7 calendars. Did I? One of them I traded. And one of them was a 2-for-1. I sold 5. Shut up. I only lost like $300 on the calendar experience. Give or take. And again, because I'm a pretty big deal, $300 is just like fuck. Oh, we have fun. Bennett, what are you making these days, my friend? You're finishing up? Are you back at the RC trailer yet for towing your other RC truck? These people haven't heard from you for a while, my man. I mean, I know we just talked on Monday, but maybe let these guys know what you've been up to. You're about to start your own RC truck YouTube channel, right? Print on demand for the next Wooden Things Stuff print project. Well, it's not going to be order a bunch of them and then wait for them to sell. That's for damn sure. It just might not. I just might not bother happening again. I don't think I'll go through the effort of creating a file for people to do a print on demand. If there's only 6 or 7 people who are going to want it. Like the shirts. Well, I still got a bunch of shirts to print. So yeah, maybe. What else am I going to do with them? Got to print them eventually. It'll probably happen this year. Now that like supply lines have finally gotten back into a place where it's not ridiculous and we can actually order stuff that we need and expect to get it. I can actually make the screens and start doing the screen printing on the shirts. After 3 guitars and a custom cajon order and maybe a cabinet to get rid of some pegboard. Maybe a new bench along that wall that has some drawers and doors in it for proper storage of the too many things that I have in my shop. Oh, there's a lot of shit that needs to happen, peeps. And I'm only one man. Print on demand shirts. Yeah, maybe if it ever happens again, but I can't do print on demand shirts for the box of shirts I already have. Could put shirts on the backs of the homeless. I absolutely would do that. They don't need t-shirts. They need sweaters and coats. But yeah, I would donate them to the art gallery for them to screen print on to raise funds for if they didn't get printed by me. It's a great program that we started down at the art gallery when I was with the art gallery. The Art Hive program in Count. If you guys are curious, look up the Art Hive program at the Count River Art Gallery. There's numerous news stories online about it. It's a great program. And if people don't want to buy the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff shirts, it's absolutely gonna go to that. I'll take a 2X. Yes, I'm kind of fat. Dude, we're all fat. I run a woodworking channel, my friend. I bought one medium for one specific dude, and the rest of them are XL, 2XL, 3XL, and like a 7XL that I got for another specific person that is like fourth in line to the throne of the Hill Giants. Am I the medium? No. I don't think you existed. Well, you existed. But I don't think when this discussion happened, I don't think we even knew each other, my friend. No, we absolutely did. But I don't think you were around on the show when I was ordering to say what you wanted for a size. Were you? Maybe there's two mediums then. I don't remember. It's been a while. It was probably almost 2 years ago that I ordered those shirts. Doesn't matter. I'll swim in a large. We'll just fire it through the dryer a couple of times. It'll be all good. And I have t-shirts. I have a few golf polos, and I have a couple of hoodies. No big deal. It's a shop shirt anyway. No, you have to wear it out in public. Like, this is branding. I'm not even going to sell you one if you're not going to like wear it out in public and talk to people about why you're wearing this shirt. You need to be a brand ambassador for me if you're going to be wearing this. Hats, settle down, Dave. Let's start with the shirts I've had for 2 years and not done. And then we can branch out to other things if that ends up. Hats would be cool. But I can barely keep track of what I'm supposed to be doing already. Okay? More people will see it if I wear it at the shop and make Instagram reels. Not if your camera's just pointed at your bench. Fucking reels. So stupid. I'm starting to really not be a big fan of Instagram anymore. Back in a bit. All right. We may or may not be here. We're at an hour 43. It's getting close to wrap up time, probably. Unless people want to get more hypothetical fun questions, that'd be. I'll keep going for whenever. We can go for as long as we want. Wife's off volunteering at the community theater tonight. Kids upstairs playing video games and stuff. I don't have anywhere to be. We can hang out. But we gotta have something to talk about. Centaur law discussion was pretty fun. Potato discussion was pretty fun. Watch this beat Bennett rolling up. Nope. Pulling away. Be cool if Mike showed up and like wanted to keep going on cleaning the shop. My best Instagram reel is one where my 4'10" wife came into my shop and couldn't reach a pair of pliers. My best. This is why I am no longer as big a fan of Instagram as I used to be. Because my best performing Instagram post of any kind ever was scooping up shavings from behind my lathe and putting them in a garbage can or in a garbage bag. I was just like, yep, time to clean up. And I just like scooped up some shavings from around the lathe and threw them in a garbage bag. frame up and take beautiful photos of projects that you worked really hard on and look beautiful. I'm gonna scoop up some wood shavings and put them in a bag, and if you're like 4,000 people watch it, like, eat shit, society. Showing off the badonkadonk? No, it literally. This is okay. Excuse the mess. It's not as bad as it was during that reel, but it was like a shot like this, and I was like just scooping up. Well, go to Instagram. I was like scooping up shavings from behind my lathe and throwing them in a garbage bag. And it just went gangbusters, like, compared, relatively speaking. That's as viral as I get. But I was just like, I hate this world. When, like, you can do, like, really beautiful photography. Well, not really beautiful, but, like, you had nice projects with a nice caption. Sometimes it's a meaningful caption. Nope. I'm gonna scoop up sawdust. And it goes out to thousands of people. It sucks. Finished project gets 500. Wife got 36,000. Yeah, see? That. Eat shit, world. Social media is not what matters. Let's just all agree. What's most important is doing what you love doing, making things with your hands, connecting with each other as human beings, caring about each other and the world that we're in, and being of value to those you love and the world in general. However, whatever that means to you. One more beer? Question mark. Who's got one more beer on their bingo sheet? I am going to make some bingo sheets. They will be sent out to my patrons over at patreon.com/woodenthingsandsstuff. They will be individualized so that no one has the same sheet, so that not everybody can get a line. Because if everybody just gets the same line, there's no point. So they will all be randomized and sent out individually to my patrons. And if they are watching the show and they get a line and send me a picture of that line, they will get something mailed to them. So I am going to do the bingo sheet thing. And I think I'll do them monthly. I will send out bingo sheets to the patrons, and it has to be all within one show that they're looking for a line to make bingo. But all of them will be different. So, like, if two of them got it, it would be in a different line. And I'm not going to focus on trying to do it or not do it, but the bingo sheet thing is going to happen. It's the center square. No, the center square is stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. there will be some cool squares. Surprise an autograph pic of you picking up lathe shavings? Maybe. Guess you're gonna have to join up on Patreon and then try to win in order to find out. I want to put more benefit over there for people that pay me in cash to keep doing what I'm doing, as opposed to paying me in thumbs ups and views. And I love all of you for coming, but these people actually physically pay me fake hypothetical dollars that don't actually exist in the real world, but we all pretend we do. So, yeah, I want to start giving them some more benefit, and this is one of the cool things that it'll be like a fun game for them to like try to connect lines and stuff on a. Yeah, I think it'd be fun, and there'll be things that don't always come up, but relatively frequently come up, like Parks and Rec quotes, or Will Ferrell quotes, or Mike almost falls off the stool, because either it's the stool or Mike. Mike has to go into the house to get something that he forgot. It's probably a box. Yeah, lots of fun boxes to check off on the bingo card. It's in progress. woodenthingsandstuff@gmail.com is my email address. Patreon.com/woodenthingsandstuff to get in on that. Business Centaur. Get this wrapped up for tonight, I think. Should we glue up one of the dice boxes? Let's glue up a dice box. Come on. So these are the dice boxes. They are all taped at the hinges. They have lids and bottoms put in them. These are all red oak. These are Meranti. We're going to do red oak lids in Meranti bottoms, or in Meranti boxes, and vice versa. Let's just do one, because I have to film these for the project video. Let's do one red oak Meranti top dealy. Because why not? That'll work. If your glue nozzles on your tight bond get sticky, 15mm wrench does a little pop ski. Get that off of there. I want to do very little glue on these joints. I'm only doing the top bit because I'm going to take my brush in all these grooves. These are actually, I finished the board before I cut it into parts and miter joints, so that I didn't have to refinish the inside. The outside will get refinished, but let's go. Yeah, Moranti. That looks like good top. That looks like good bottom. There's grain going the same way. I'm not even going to glue that top and bottom in, because the little bit of squeeze out that those miter joints are going to do inside that groove is going to be more than enough to seal that up. That last miter nice and closed. Make sure those miters are all nice and tight and not like one of them goes or anything. It's sealed up. And then we'll let that go. Let that cure for a bit, and then after they're all done, I'm gonna spline the corners just to reinforce them a little bit and add a little decorative element. And I have, what, 11, 12 of those to do over the next couple of days. Moranti, top and bottom on red oak. It's not going to show. I was kind of disappointed in myself a little bit, even though I shouldn't be, because these are just quick, cheap scrap projects. I should not have half-assed. I didn't half-ass. In the batching process, I cut all of the grooves for the top and bottoms before I cut the miters. And then because there were grooves cut, when I cut the miters, I did get a fair bit of like, oh, that grain just... Because I also didn't switch out to my crosscut blade. And I was just like, yeah, we'll just pump through it. So there are a few of these. Here's a good example. If you look down in here on that miter, when I cut that miter, this got blown out pretty bad. So did that. So when that gets all put together, there is gonna end up being like some not awesomeness, but in the grand scheme of things, this is, I'll just put a little bit of glue in those corners and just sand it in, and it'll be fine. It's gonna be a nice little dice box. And I'm not going to charge enough for them because I don't charge enough for anything I do. Laser a D20 on them. I'm going to laser a few things. I've found a few designs that I'm going to do on them. Yes, D20 will be absolutely one of them. I found a couple of interesting dragon heads that I think are going to look good on some of them. I might do customize your own dice box on a few of them. Like if you hit me up and tell me what you want on it, I'll see if I can find it and do a dice box for you. Not in a huge hurry to move these things. I was in a huge hurry to get rid of some scrap wood and make little boxes out of them, which is what's happening. Tyler, if you want a dice box, we'll talk. You let me know what you want on the top of it. I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna chop the lid off them. I'm gonna take the lid down to the Glowforge. Gonna see the D&D movie. Start showing up on time. Oh, a whole long conversation with Todd, I think, about how he went to go see it, and should I go see it or should I wait for it to come out on streaming services? I'm not going through it again. I'm gonna make you watch this. After it's uploaded to YouTube, you go back and you watch the chat room and you follow along with the discussion. It's your punishment for not showing up on time. Short answer is that yes, I will absolutely see it. Probably won't be driving down to Courtney to go to the theater to see it. And I don't go to the Campbell River Theater because they don't have fancy reclining seats. Paul's saying, stay happy, stay safe. Later, my friend. Yeah. See you next week. Oh. For a second, I was like, oh, I put them on. I was like, I flipped it this way, and then I flipped it and turned it, and I was like, oh, I didn't get the grain going the same way. But I did. Oh, another one of those things, like nobody would care. If the lid grain on the top was going this way, and the lid grain on the bottom was going this way, nobody but a woodworker would care. Or even probably notice. But it matters to me. I would have probably ripped it apart before the glue set. And Eric Habakabaka shows up right at last beer, which is actually last beer, because I do want to get the rest of these glued up, which I have to do on camera, which you guys are now currently occupying. How do you get dice inside? Well, are you not a mage? You take your dice, right? You get your dice in your box, and you go, and now they're inside. They don't shake because there's padding on the inside that keeps them from rattling around. And then when you need them, you go, and they come back. Clearly, I'm going to cut the lid off the box, okay? And then I think I'm going to do some with like a liner that slips down, sort of pressure fit, and some with hinges and clasp. I haven't thought that far ahead, okay? I've thought far enough ahead for how the box is going to be. I'm going to spline the corners, probably only 2. I'll do 2 on each corner. Cut the lid off, glow forge the lid, and either hinge or pressure fitted insert the dice box. Planning. Come on. All right, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for coming by. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Patreon.com/wooden things and stuff. If you're interested in getting in on the bingo challenge. Probably going to be the first place that I offer up the dice boxes as well. And until next time, bye for now. And double stuffed potato. Tomorrow night, you should make yourself a double stuffed potato to go with your dinner. Double baked? Is that what it was called?